In the legal world, there is a combination of forces that feed a corrupt and suffocating legal system for attorneys. Law schools, law professionals, judges, and even the firms themselves for whom you work create a system, a matrix, if you will, that is nothing like what you thought when you passed the bar exam. The purpose of this podcast is to help you escape this legal matrix, leading you out of the proverbial desert to be free of the bondage of the matrix. Hosted by Bryce D. Nyer, attorney at law with over 30 years experience in the trenches of civil and criminal litigation at the state, federal, and international levels. He's a highly accomplished and resourceful legal professional, a true master of his craft, and he's here to help you get your life back. Here's your host, Bryce D. Nyer.
All right. This is Bryce D. Nyer coming at you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg, for another episode of what? You guessed it, Escape the Legal Matrix. We're going to talk about a hot topic. Hot. Great, hot. So, we're going to talk about Hurty Words, H-U-R-T-Y words in the digital ID world. And I'll tell you why I'm concerned. And you need to be concerned too, and I'm going to tell you why I need to be concerned. So, across the globe, and in particular in the UK and the EU, they have all these hate speech laws. And to me, I think it's just getting freaking absurd. It's getting dangerous. It's Orwellian. I got to be honest with you. What's going on in the UK and the EU with all this censorship and arresting people, put them in jail, monitoring their social media accounts. And now Great Britain, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, has announced not too long ago that by the end of the parliamentary session, that all citizens of the UK must have a digital ID or they will not be able to work. We can see where this is going. And I'm going to tell you, it's not going to a good place. It's not a good thing. I don't care what they tell you, but frankly, it's getting downright scary. We have governments that are basically continuing to track every activity that you do, everything that you say, everything that you purchase. There is no privacy. I mean, is that what you want? Are you all out there not awake to what is going on in the world? I mean, are you that asleep that your privacy is being eroded, that you're being tracked and monitored and cataloged and your information sold? And when you sit there and you tie all this information to one digital ID, which will be your health insurance, which will be your paychecks, which will be all your financial accounts, everything will be in one vault. And it will be a digital concentration camp. That's a term I've heard used. Not my term, but that's what people are saying that are against it, and I can understand why they're against it. I can understand it. I sit here all the time now, and when I'm monitoring international law and I'm watching this insanity in the UK of where these posts, they're not terrorist posts. They're criticizing, and for good reason, the actions their government is taking. It's insane. They have a right to be concerned about this mass immigration, the illegal immigration, and what's happening in their individual countries. Their sovereignty is being eroded. It's being erased. Their culture is being consumed. And you have this globalist agenda, this one world order that's allowing this to happen. And then when you dare speak up, when you speak the truth, they go after you. They attack you. And in some instances, people are receiving death threats. This is so reminiscent, seriously, so reminiscent of 1933 to 1945 under Nazi Germany. This is so reminiscent of the Soviet era going from 1917 until the fall of the Soviet Union. This is now what's happening in China with their social credit scores. All this facial recognition. And now to travel in the EU that's coming down the pike in 2026 and thereafter is the fact for even Americans traveling there, they're going to have to register for digital ID. Their prints, and people say, well, they already have in the U.S. with your passports. You just showed them here, blah, 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 blah. No. Where this is going, where this is heading, and what's happening here is about control. It's about control. Why do you have to have a digital ID? If you've already got a Social Security number and you're already registered for Social Security, you're already registered with Medicare, Medicaid, or whatever the hell else it is, why do you have to have a digital ID? And in the UK, if they're registered with a national insurance for health, NIH or whatever the hell it is over there, which quite frankly, to me is a complete failure. It's not me saying it. It's the UK citizens saying it. It's a failure. I mean, everything that's going on in the UK right now should scare the living hell out of you. It really should. Stuff that's going on in the EU. I mean, I'm watching a case in Finland, this woman who cited some Bible verses. And the prosecution, the persecutors from the Finnish government have taken her to task. I don't know. I think they're on a third try here, of criminal trials. And I think they have another hearing coming up shortly. But I'm just telling you, this is crazy town. This is crazy. This thing about Hurty Words, where you can't criticize the insanity and the delusion and the deception that's going on in this world without being persecuted. I mean, Jesus kind of predicted this. I think it's in the script. I mean, I think if you look in the scripture and you really read what happens in the end times, it's things of this nature. I mean, look at this digital ID. Like, you can't work in the UK if you don't have one. Well, if you can't work, you can't make money. If you can't make money, you can't pay your bills. And they're touting it, well, it's free and, it's for convenience. No, it's not. Yeah, it's free, but convenient? Oh, okay. So what? You're going to put your life in their lockbox and they're going to hold the key? Is that where we're going? Because I'll tell you what, it appears to me that's where we're going. And in the United States, it's happening too. I mean, this whole thing with a real ID for driver's licenses, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, if you go get a driver's license, you should be required to provide certain documents anyway. So now you got to have this real ID or a passport or something, or you can't get on a plane. It's just this whole utopian, this whole Orwellian, this one world order, this globalist agenda. It's just picking up speed at a rapid pace. And the fact that people now, everything that they do is monitored and cataloged about what they say, the websites they visit, everything, we're being tracked. You say the wrong thing in China, you don't get a passport, you don't get a visa. They just ground you to a halt. I mean, look what happened in Vietnam recently, where over 80 million people had their bank accounts frozen. For allegedly, I guess they didn't want to participate in the new digital ID or whatever it was in Vietnam. That's scary, folks. Look what happened in Canada during COVID or, that period where the former Prime Minister, Trudeau, froze all the bank accounts of the truckers who were protesting. I mean, look at what's going on in your world. You dare say anything against the Orwellian powers that be, the legal matrix, and they'll come after you. Should you be afraid? Yeah, you need to have some fear, but not the fear that paralyzes you. You got to have a little bit of fear keeps you on your toes, but you're going to have to fight back. You are going to have to make a choice where you're going to stand on all this. You're either going to become a conspirator with the Orwellian powers and the one world order, or you're going to fight against it. It may cost you your life. It may cost you everything. I can come to no other conclusion. And a lot of my friends think I'm crazy and I'm obsessed and compulsive, but I'm telling you, I've studied history. I've looked at this stuff for decades. I've sat here and researched the Bible, not because I'm a wacko, because I don't think you're a wacko if you read the Bible. I don't. Written by men over a thousands of year period, and people say, oh, it's just a book. Oh, really? And you might want to read it because everything that's in there kind of specifically is lining up. Now, you can believe it or not. That's up to you, and that's a choice you have to make in your religious faith. But I'm telling you, if you behold your world and you look in your world today of what's going on, this massive amount of control, and what you have is you have Islam versus Judaism versus Christianity. These three major religions they're all at the top. They're all at the top, and there's conflicts going on here. And I'm going to tell you, I don't care what you say. The President of the United States and the State Department, they're not going to solve these problems. These are not the type of problems that governments of today's world are going to solve. This goes back to the beginning of creation of man. Now, you can laugh at it, but if you look from the time of Adam and Eve coming forward about the conflict, the spiritual conflict that's gone on of good and evil and everything, and the technology and where we are today, you can't deny it. The fact that the UK and other governments are arresting people, locking them up for really, and all the cases I've seen for speaking the truth, or even those who are outside an abortion clinic, not bothering anybody in these safe zones in the UK, just saying prayers or silently praying in their head, being accosted by the British law enforcement, the bobbies, or whatever the hell they call them today. I don't even know what they call them anymore. I'm not even sure they carry weapons. Are they real law enforcement or not? Because the sovereignties in country, it's being torn down. The privacy is gone. The minute we went to the cell phones and the smart devices and everything else, everybody became addicted to it. You see, this is how information gets instantaneous now across the world. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, it's now instantaneous in real time. And this was predicted too. This was predicted too about the information, about how quickly the word would spread, how quickly things would be known. Look at it. Look at what's happened just since the year 2000, the technology. Look at what has happened in the world. I mean, we've got a world confused about marriage, about genders, about who they are. I mean, there's just no foundation. People being lambasted, arrested, persecuted, sometimes killed for hurty words. It boggles the mind. I never thought in my entire life. I knew when I was a kid and I used to study Revelation and stuff like that, and it intrigued me. It just intrigued me. I couldn't stop reading it and just following the trends and what was going on in the world. I was intrigued with international law and international events and things going on, and it's just like all falling into place. And yet, my colleagues in the legal profession, in this legal matrix, the majority of them, they don't care. They're just more concerned about another retainer fee. This is why I'm so down on the legal profession. Where's the truth? Where's the justice? Where are the people standing up for truth? Where are they? Where are they? And people say, what do you want me to do? I'm like, well, hell, sitting there watching Netflix or buzzing along, scrolling along, social media all day and not taking a stand. That's not helping. Not helping. All it takes for evil to prevail is for good men and women to do nothing. That's what happens. When people become complacent and they go along to get along and they're afraid to hurt somebody's feelings and all that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The insanity of the world today. And look, I told you 100 times, I'm no angel. Not at all. Not by far. I mean, I'm surprised Jesus hasn't come down and just bitch slapped me into reality many times. In fact, probably has. Just in a spiritual sort of way. Now, I'm telling you right now, this whole thing with AI and the digital ID and all this stuff that everybody thinks, it's convenient, it's great. If you don't do it, you're going to go out of business. Well, I'll tell you this. You join it, you become a co-conspirator with it, you're going to be out of business. You're going to be out of spiritual business. Laugh, mock, do whatever you want. But I'm just telling you, take a look at what's going on. And I hope it doesn't happen, but if you become a victim of one of these crimes from this insanity, I'll bet you wake up then, or maybe you won't wake up. Might be too late. Every day now when I come into work, I wonder in this legal profession, legal matrix, I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Do I really have a sole purpose? I mean, is it to do this litigation? I look at the judges at the state and federal levels, and I'm like, a lot of them are selling out. They've sold their souls. The legal profession essentially has sold its soul. The law schools, these institutions of higher learning that were supposed to, at least in America, be clear about the constitutional rights, now they just gloss over it. Our law schools are made up of socialists and Marxists. I mean, a lot to me, this is just my opinion, but from what I see, and especially what happened after October 7th, 2023, man, the delusion, the deception, and the hatred, and the visceral insanity on college campuses and law schools is just, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. I just sit here in my own profession and I see such cowardice that nobody wants to dare go into a courtroom and say, this is wrong, this is not correct. I mean, just because a U.S. Supreme Court makes a decision on something doesn't mean it's morally right. Doesn't mean that it's good. Just because I felt a certain way in my life and took a certain action didn't make it right. It wasn't right. It was wrong. It was wrong. I was wrong. There's a reason why they call things sin. Yeah. There's a reason why there's terms of good and evil, right, wrong, action, inaction. And what you're seeing across the globe today is the use of the legal system, the legal matrix, to silence people who live, operate, and tell the truth. What's going on? And I bar none, every single one of you, every one of us will have to make a choice. You cannot sit on the bench anymore. You can't. You're either in truth or you're in lies. And it's a struggle. It's a struggle for me. I'm in this struggle right now. I'm in the battle of my life, honestly, in more ways than one. I'm in a war within myself of what to think, what to say, where the future of my life should go, what it should be, what my sole purpose should be. And I have to tell you, you awaken one day and you look in the mirror and you just can't stand what you see. And you have to change. You have to take a new path. You have to take a new direction. And I in my own profession, I don't know. When I see what's going on in the UK and the EU, and I even see what's going on in some of our cities and our states in the United States of America, we're in trouble. This world is in deep, deep, deep trouble. You're being watched. You're being cataloged. You're a commodity. And if you step out of line and you challenge the evil empire, they're going to try and crush you. Laugh all you want, mock it all you want, but only a few things can be true. There's either truth or there's lies. There's heaven and hell or there's not. Either Jesus is real or he's not. Either God is real or he's not. There's no in-betweens anymore in anything. Nothing. Either the words a person speaks is truth or it's lies. There's no in-between. There's no in-between. You can market it, you can couch it, you can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, the fallout of the words, of what is said or failed to be said, of the actions taken or failed to be taken, that's going to be the proof. It's going to be the proof. When good people do nothing, when they refuse to stand up and do the right thing and the good thing, evil will prevail. In the end, it won't. But we've got a lot of battles ahead and a lot of wars. And even in the legal profession, this legal matrix, there is a war going on. There are those that will do the right thing. There are those that will live and operate in truth. And there are those who will sell out. They will. They'll sell out for the retainer fee, for the beach houses, for the big cars, for the salaries. I don't want to say anything. I might hurt somebody, or the judge might get pissed at me, blah, 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 blah. It's cowardice. I've been a coward in my life too. There are probably times I didn't speak up when I should have. There were times I did speak up. Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut. I don't know. I just know this. I'm not going to sell out. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. There are too many brave people that have lived during human history that have even given their lives for truth. People doing it today. And yet here we are. Keyboard warriors, watching Netflix, drinking a beer, watching football on Sunday or Monday night, whatever the hell it is. We've grown too comfortable. We've grown too comfortable. Too comfortable. We reap what we sow. We will reap what we sow. The digital ID is not good. AI is not good. One world government, not good. New world order, not good. Globalism, not good. Not good. You better wake up. You better pay attention. You better speak up. There's a war coming. There's a storm coming. And you're going to be in it. And you will not be able to shy away from it. You will not be able to sit on the bench anymore. It will not happen. Laugh at me, mock me, I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. We all got to make a choice. And there's a saying, choose wisely. This is Bryce coming at you live from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of Fort Bragg, and this has been another episode of Escape the Legal Matrix. And I am out of here.